Just like that, everybody. The Kraken are back in the win column. Let's go. This is the Panthers team I remember the Kraken playing against last year, right? As the Kraken pick up this 5-2 win. Much needed win for them. Get them, feeling good again. Get us all feeling good again. It's nice to have a ECH post game live presented by Queen Anne Beer Hall. That's going to be a dance party. Miss those for sure. Um, Pardon me, getting a little too excited, I think. So our RJ might be joining us in a little bit. It sounds like, hopefully, fingers crossed, everybody is feeling a little bit better and hopefully he can join us here. But until then, I mean, this was just a phenomenal game from the Kraken. I mean, you get goals, a bunch of goals. You get that Matty one early, get him back on the board, 11th on the year. That's going to help that Matty for Calder campaign. Martin Jones comes back into the net and looks fantastic. Makes some big time saves for the Kraken tonight. Really kept them in it when their defense was breaking down a little bit, which was a problem for the Kraken tonight. But he looked fantastic, and it just goes to show. I think he has the stuff. It was just he was getting a little overworked there just because of how many games he was having to start for this team down the stretch there. It was a lot. He basically started almost an entire month straight for them. And it was just a little bit too much. So he has a little bit more time off now with Grubauer being back. Comes out, played a fantastic game, saves 24 of the 26 shots from the Florida Panthers. Eberle gets back on the board. Good to see that. Lots of guys just getting stuff. Yanni Gord, I thought, had a kind of an iffy first period, and then he really came back and played fantastic after that, capping it off with an empty net goal. Always like to see that from Yanni. It was I mean, it was just a solid game all the way around. Obviously gonna await word about Justin Schultz and the injury he took from that boarding. It was a penalty. Because that's, obviously a big deal with the Jamie Alexiak suspension. This is the first of 3 games for Jamie Alexiak being suspended. And so the Kraken, if Schultz is going to miss any time, Kraken are going to need to call somebody up, because you had Cale Fleury come in and he played okay tonight. But we'll see. Does this mean it's Riker Evan time? I don't know. But those are questions we can answer later. I want to get over into chat and see how everybody's celebrating, because we, like I said, how we kicked it all off. We're back in the win column. This is awesome. Coop, yeah, baby, let's go. Exactly, Coop, right there with you. Kraken Hawk. Well, Seattle is now 1-1 against the Panthers. Kraken look great tonight. It's amazing how well you do when you put up goals in bunches. Scoring fixes everything in hockey. It really does. Coop, Matty with his first bloody nose. Yeah, how about that moment for Matty, right? Coming to the defense of his guy there. Little captain like, maybe. I don't know. Just saying. You all know where I stand on that. But yeah, Matty Benier is getting it done in all the ways that the Kraken needed tonight. He played a really fantastic game, picks up 2 points. Like I said, the goal earlier, 5 shots for him tonight. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for Matty. He wanted to get back to scoring. He wanted his team to win again, I think. And then, yes, picking up another penalty. Ooh. Jules, how poetic. The Panthers were the win to break our win streak. Then they become the start of our new streak. Good call. Good pick up there, Jules. Definitely. That is pretty awesome. Ty, boarding definition. Yikes. Followed by a Dirty Panthers there from Hunter. Definitely. I mean, that is textbook boarding, sees the numbers all the way, just lays into them full blast like that. You just can't do that. It's just no way around it. You just can't do that. Like I said, hopefully Justin Schultz is going to be okay, and we'll get word on that, maybe later on tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see. But looks like RJ's here. So let's go ahead and add RJ in, get this overlay going. There we go. Hey, RJ, it's been a little while.
It has. Good to be back. Really good to make my return to ECH post-game live as the Kraken make their return to the win column. So thrilled watching that game at the prospect of getting to join you guys again. Thank you, Dylan, for holding it down last time while I was out. But I am feeling better. I think I really turned a corner today, so was happy that I was able to do this.
Awesome, definitely. So Rebecca puts in there, RJ off the IR list. You love to see it for sure. And how about we kick things off, RJ, with a super chat for your return
Of
here.
course.
Super chat from Sean. Thank you very much, Sean. Matty Beniers feels like a Julio or Jeffrey or Griffey, excuse me. Griffey type player for Seattle. Studs, Matty scoring and tough as nails. Jonesy was a wall. PK steps back up. Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of hits on everything. I already talked about Matty Beniers a little bit and what was going on there, and Jones as well. But the PK, I want to say that the PK came up huge because they didn't allow a power play goal to the Panthers, but like they allowed some serious puck movement at times.
They did, but I mean that's part of a good PK is getting a little bit lucky when you try and go bend and not break. And I think overall the last 2-3 games, basically since I think they just sat back and like, look, we need to make an adjustment. We need to get more aggressive. It kind of what we talked about on the deep dive. Basically, after that point, I think they did make some adjustments, and part of that is also getting a little bit lucky where maybe you don't get a bounce that goes in against you. But I think the PK has overall been better, and it's been the difference. Like in this game, potentially between a win and a loss. If the Panthers get some power play goals earlier, it could be a different game.
Yeah, and just gonna say it again. I think having Morgan Geeky back makes all the difference in the world. Like the PK just
Yeah.
looks like a different unit when he's out there, and really the fourth line as well. And you get contributions from the fourth line again in this one. I just think Morgan Geeky is kind of sneakily the like underrated hero of the Seattle Kraken hockey team. That's just the way it's starting to feel to me.
Yeah.
Emmy hoping for Justin to be okay. We all are. Coop needs Schultz to be okay. Cale Fleury is already very sketchy. I don't want to be down 2 defenders. It would be a rough situation if they go down by 2, for sure.
Yeah. Although I think Cale Fleury will get better than what he looked like last or tonight. I mean, because we saw this the last stint where he came in, where he looked really shaky that first game, and then the second and third he's back into it. I think we saw that again tonight, and it's hard to blame him given how much time he spent in the press box.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's always hard to come back in. We heard that from his brother last season, right? Like that
Yep.
was always kind of the narrative when he would have to come back in. Any ideas on though if Schultz is going to miss time while Alexiak's still out? Like who becomes the new defender?
Probably Gustav Olofsson, because I mean that way you have a lefty and a righty. Olofsson was the call up earlier in the year. I thought he did fine. I don't think it's Riker Evans' time yet.
No.
That the Firebirds still haven't played their home opener. I think you still want to give him a little bit more time down there in Coachella Valley, even though he's doing well. That would be who I'd go with, Gustav Olofsson.
I was gonna say I think the time when we're really gonna see Riker Evans be an injury call up, it's gonna be next calendar year. At the very
I would
least,
think so.
I just don't see it happening this season, unfortunately. As much as I want it to happen, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
But that's just the way it is. I could see this if it was February, I could see something being a little bit different there. Riker Evans, 11 points in his 18 games so far with Coachella Valley, and a +10 leading the team. So just want
that's
to
pretty
get that
good.
one out there. Yeah, this is pretty good.
And
Good play. Go for it.
I was saying, speaking of that D spot, just I see everyone. Thanks for the, glad you're feeling well enough. I appreciate all those messages. And Lindsay saying RJ's been activated off IR. Can he play the blue line on Tuesday? So am I going to fill that spot? I will let you know. Never in my life have I been able to play on the blue line. Not a defenseman, not my thing. So yeah, sorry to disappoint there. It will not be me, 100%.
Yeah, I also like the one from CR Bud RJ back from his upper body injury, because that is
Yep.
how you would be classified for sure.
Yeah. Voice isn't 100% yet, but it's getting there.
Yes. Much stronger than the last time you joined us on one
Oh
of
yeah.
these. This takes the pain out of the Seahawks loss from Hunter, definitely. Let's get one win out there today. Brian, great 60-minute effort. Outwork your opponent and good things happen for sure. I mean, the Kraken, they were motivated to win this game. I think you could just kind of tell from guys like Matty, from guys like Martin Jones, from really everybody, that fourth line, they did not want to make this a 4-game losing streak. Like that was just not going to be an option for them. And they made it happen. They definitely made it so. And, also taking advantage of Sergei Bobrovsky, who I thought actually played a decent game tonight. But Bobrovsky had to start yesterday. Panthers had to play yesterday. That, you got to take advantage of those opportunities when you can. So if you can, jump out there in a minute into the game, get a goal and try to get momentum going, that's the way to do it.
Exactly. I mean, and this is how you're supposed to play against a team who's on the second half of back-to-backs. We've seen the Kraken not play all that well in those situations recently when they're facing a team on second half of back-to-backs and not really take advantage of that. But
Mhm.
they did that tonight, which is just good to see as far as that trend in the long term.
Exactly, and perfect timing too for them, as they're coming off the
Yeah.
little bit of a skid there. Derek, Maddie jumping in after the Schultz hit was great. I know everybody knows where I stand on the whole Maddie gonna be the next captain and everything, RJ, but, like, tell me that wasn't exactly one of those moments, right?
It was, and I mean, this was a banner game for Matty Beniers all around. I mean, it showed all the different elements of his game and what he can do. I mean, that bomb of a slap shot to score the goal.
Mhm.
The work that he's put into his offensive game as far as scoring. That amazing little shot pass to Jordan Eberle for the tip. He had like a split second window to fit that thing in there, to recognize the situation, to put it there. And it shows the kind of intelligence that he has and the awareness in the offensive zone. And then, of course, standing up for his teammate, Justin Schultz, after that hit, didn't hesitate for a second, goes right in against Ryan Lomberg, who's a tough customer,
Yep.
but goes right at him. And the leadership from a 20-year-old to do that,
Mhm.
and just to know right away to do that. You've talked about Matty, the prospect of him being captain. That was captain material right there.
Yeah, and you bring it up, right? Lomberg is he's a big he's not maybe the biggest guy, but
No,
he's a tough customer. Obviously laying out the hit the way he did there, and we saw right, like Beniers wasn't really a good match for him when things started to
he
go
got
down
bloodied.
there. Yeah, it wasn't exactly like a good one for one there, but the lack of hesitation is just huge. It's absolutely huge, and I guarantee you everybody made note of that in that Kraken locker room, and then in the future when it is time to think about who would be a captain for this team, that's the kind of stuff that they do remember. um let's see, Coop, why on earth did Kale Fleury go behind the net to an already covered guy and leave a wide open player right in front? That's a question I've actually been asking about a lot of Kraken defensemen this season. I mean, this is something that we've talked about at the beginning of the year. Things got better, and then we've been bringing it up back here recently. It's just one of those things, like, that's just kind of basic breakdowns. I get that you're trying to make a play. You want to go and maybe try to steal the puck away from the player, try to get things going back the other way. You also know that, like, hey, body position wise, right? Borgen, your defensive partner, is not going to be able to get there. He's behind him essentially. He's not going to be able to really make a play. But you still have to be smarter in that situation. You're already turned around, which I don't like. Granted, it's the one time it's okay to be turned around when the puck's behind your own net. But you got to just kind of hold your ground. If you know your D partner is away from the net, then you have to be at the net. Someone always has to be at the net. That's just the way it is.
And it's one of those things where game reps is what keeps you sharp on that.
Mhm.
And Kale Fleury just hasn't had the game reps. I kind of chalk it up to that.
Yeah. Jules, yeah, Flurry was a bit shaky out there. Hopefully next game he will have improvements. He did get a good shot on goal at the end there. He did. Almost got a goal, actually. It was a
Yeah,
nice
he
little
was
sneaky
launching
shot.
it from the point tonight. I did like that.
Yeah, anytime the Kraken can get more active shooting the puck from the blue line, I think it's a better thing for them. I liked also the work they were doing down low, trying to make kind of power moves to the net. That's something that's a little newer for the Kraken. Jaden Schwartz did it a couple times. Some other guys, Adam Larson, let's go,
Yep.
trying to make that happen too. I liked that from them, kind of get rebound opportunities going in front of the net. Uh, Krakenhawk, I love how Maddie wasn't afraid to get scrappy standing up for Schultz after he was bored. Tells me he feels very confident in the league. You want to see that in young players. Absolutely. Patrick, heck yeah, back up to second in the division, and we've played the least number of games, so most potential points left on the table. Kraken are in a very, very good spot. I know those 3 games were rough just because we were so used to winning, but the Kraken are still in a fantastic spot when it comes to everything standing wise. They're totally fine shape. Mike McBob better be a 5-game suspension. I am curious after the suspensions to Jeff Skinner, the suspension to Jamie Alexiak. It does feel like this year, RJ, that both in game and when it comes to the suspensions, the league is taking all of this stuff a lot more seriously because, I mean, you and I can both easily remember a time where even that boarding hit tonight would have just been like a 2-minute boarding penalty. Oh, you're muted.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, those are not the best times for player safety. Thanks for catching that. A little rusty, I guess. Like they got some Kale Flurry tonight, but So yeah, no, but yeah, I think the league has started taking those a little bit more seriously. I mean, on the Alexiak one, I was surprised it was as high as 3 games. I think it's
Mhm.
fair. I mean, that's what I would do. I mean, but I've been pleasantly surprised as far as the league getting serious about those. We'll see how they feel about the Longberg one. I know hits to the head they've really tried to get
Mhm.
out, but boarding I haven't seen them fully crack down on yet. So we'll see. What did how much did Skinner get for? Do you
3 as
remember?
well,
Okay.
which is
So they've
kinda
shown they're
surprising.
willing to. Yeah, no, that was surprising to me too. So, um, yeah, I will. It'd be interesting to see what he gets. The part that I don't like about that hit also was how it was clearly retaliatory,
Yeah.
because he didn't like that he was held up there from Schultz on that initial penalty, and then makes the decision immediately to drive through him. You don't
Mhm.
have the plausible deniability of being like, look, I was just trying to finish my hit. It was a hockey play. There was none of that. It's clear exactly what Lomberg was trying to do. There was ill intent there. So we'll see if that's something the league takes into account.
Right, and it's kind of mind blowing because usually guys like that, you're out there, you're trying to be that spark plug for your team, especially when your team's down in a game like this, and you draw the penalty. Like that's your goal. Like that's your job in that situation is to be such a threat that the defenseman has to take a penalty to try to stop you there. So for him to then do that afterwards, definitely not a smart decision to say the least. Obviously a dangerous one. Hopefully Justin Schultz is okay. But yeah, it was interesting. And like I said, we'll see suspension wise. I'm just happy that that kind of stuff leads to, getting kicked out of games now because like I said,
Yep,
you don't have to go back far for that kind of stuff to just be like, oh, it's a penalty and you move on. And so I'm appreciative of the league for that one. Same thing with the Alexiak one. Like I'm all in favor of trying to get those hits out of the head, trying to keep that player awareness. I'm okay with that suspension being longer than I thought it was last post game when I was like, maybe a game, but
yep,
history has told us that it won't be more than that. I am glad that they're making me wrong in those kinds of situations. I don't want to be so jaded when it comes to the NHL's take on player safety. It's
agreed.
super chat here from Brian. Over 38 minutes for the Tan of Geeky Sprong line tonight, winning faceoffs, puck battles, and driving the play shift after shift. Fun to watch. This fourth line is back. Excuse me, with the return of Morgan Geeky. I mean, there's not enough good things that I can say about it, honestly. Like they have such an energy. They're so good at driving play, pushing possession, just keeping the opposing team from getting anything going, which is very beneficial out here on the road when you don't have last change, right? You throw out your fourth line, they might throw out their first line just to try to take advantage of that matchup. So when you have a fourth line that can do what these guys are doing, I mean, I think that's a big reason why this team is so successful on the road.
Yeah, and it's a matchup nightmare for other teams, and especially, if you're at home and you have, it's a way to combat the other team having last change, and that's one of the things that the teams will try and do is if you have a weak fourth line, if you have a weak bottom six, when you're on the road, the home team can get those favorable matchups against your bottom six and really let their stars go to work. But the Kraken just don't have a weakness to be exploited there. That fourth line can go toe to toe with really any line on the opposition any given night, and can perform favorably.
Yeah, absolutely. They are fantastic. And then just because Brian brought up faceoffs, going to point out
Yes,
Kraken only 34% tonight on the faceoffs. They pick up a win. Just saying. Just saying.
keep it rolling.
Yep. All right, let's see. Coming back up here, some more talk about the hit and hoping for a suspension there. Jen sitting at 32. Bar and girls can't listen but popping in to yell very loudly via text. Thank you very much, Jen. Hope you're having a good time there. Jay, I got my Maddie for Calder shirt today. Looks just as good as I thought it was. Glad
Nice.
you're enjoying it, Jay. Thanks so much for the support there. Coop, that sneaky left pad kick save by Jonesy was unreal. He had so many big time saves in this one, RJ. I kind of got to rant about him a little bit at the beginning of this, but like this is Martin Jones when he's rested, when he doesn't have to play a month straight. He's just fantastic on this team.
Yeah, he was back to the form that we recognized from when he was on that hot streak, when he kind of took over the starter's job with Grubauer out. And he's just so calm and so quiet in the net. Like he had so many amazing saves, but none where he's diving from one side of the net to the other. He's just kind of positioned within his crease, never moves out of his way too far, but he's so quick with the pads down low. It has those quick legs. The one where where he flashed the leather on the power play too, when he's feeling it up high, with his glove and blocker, and he's feeling confident there, he is really difficult to beat.
Yeah, no, he's dialed in again, and it's awesome, especially after Grubauer played fantastic that game before, and then you get this performance by Jones. Like it just feels so good, RJ, to feel very
It
confident in
does.
both netminders for the Seattle
Goaltending.
Kraken. I know,
The
who would
Kraken have
imagine?
goaltending.
Who could have thunk it? Daniel, all right, RJ, quick trivia question: do you know what the Kraken's all-time win-loss record is off the top of your head?
All-time win-loss record.
Yes.
No, I
All
don't.
right. It is how could you not, RJ? It's
I know
43,
that would
57,
be the
and
type of thing I
9.
would know. What is it?
43, 57, and 9 for a 4.35 win percentage, or point percentage, I should say. That's it. We're getting there. We're gonna be a 500
Okay.
team, I think. We're getting there. Thanks for putting that in there, Daniel. Coop, if Maddie had scored that diving shot, I would have lost my mind. We would have all lost our minds. Come on. Sergeant Pickles didn't see the whole game, so duds. Lomberg is an absolute punk. If he gets less games than Big Rig, I will be pissed. Agree with you there. And then also from Sergeant Pickles, studs. Maddie with that captain energy standing up for Schultz. Jones, great bounce back. Feels good to get a W, people. It feels so good, RJ. I always love doing these. And I'm right there with you with the studs. I guess I got to give another one to Morgan Geeky just because I keep shouting him out.
Yep. No, the Geeky definitely deserving of that.
Yep. Lindsay, I had to watch the Panthers broadcast because Root wasn't working for me. Oh, sorry, you missed out on all the Flintstones references all throughout the second period.
Yeah, that was something. That
Yeah,
was something.
that was I never really experienced something like that watching a hockey game. Not gonna lie. So the Panthers homer announcer said that it wasn't a bad hit and that the 5-minute major should be reduced to 2 minutes at most. Yikes. I mean, look, like I said, that just sounds like they've been around hockey for a while because through most of the history of the NHL, that is exactly what it would be. But the times they are changing, and when it comes to player safety, I think that that's a very, very good thing. We want things like that to be changed. So I got no problem with the way the refs called it, and I'm not just saying that because it's like, oh, I wanted the Kraken to win or anything.
No, it's changing for the better. And if I can add one thing too I think it's unfortunate how the level of homerism in local broadcasts nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to shout out Nick Olczyk. Actually, last game I didn't have the chance to do it on here on post game because I wasn't there, but he was talking about the Alexiak hit. And look, it's a bad hit. It was a hit to the head.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that. And you're never sure what to expect on an intermission show like that. From a home broadcast, you tend to see them play that kind of thing down. But I liked his level-headed approach on that. He didn't argue with the call, made sure to say, look, Jamie's not a dirty player, which is true. He just lined the hit up wrong, but that was a bad hit. It was a hit to the head. The contact was avoidable. And I thought it was a really good level-headed take. He was even kind of baited on that. I think Ross mentioned the height difference. And he's like, look, Alexiev 6'4". Let's cool our jets here. But I just wanted to shout out Nick Olczyk because I think the Kraken have a fantastic broadcast, and that's where it can stand out from a broadcast like maybe the Panthers tonight. It's saying that hit should only be a 2-minute minor.
Yeah, no, exactly, and that's something we talked about on post game. A lot of us in here, like it is stuff like that. It's just the way the rule is, right? You're responsible for your body at all times. That's a very fair way of ruling it too, and so it is nice that you get that level-headed approach. Jay, don't forget to like the stream. I'm tired. All right, so we might only get that one reminder, everybody, from Jay tonight. Thanks so much, Jay. B Wooly, absolutely great to see Jones back in brick wall mode. Oh, so fantastic. It is absolutely great. Gary asking, does it count as a fight for Maddie? If so, his first Gordie Howe hat trick. It did not count as a fight for Maddie. He just got
he just got the right.
I will say this. I've had my laptop here in front of me on the NHL kind of score page for this game, and it has been bouncing all over the place. So Maddie originally had two penalty minutes. Those are now gone. The Kraken power play stats have bounced all over the place. First, they were 1 for 5. Then they were 0 for 4. Now they're 2 for 6 as things are just constantly being adjusted. So I don't know what's going on with NHL.com right now and what the official score
Right.
stuff is coming in from the officials there in Florida, but just know that, if I quote something, it might not be right.
Yeah. Hey, Dylan, have you looked at Money Puck by chance,
No,
but around
no,
the
I
end of the
did
game?
not.
Care to guess the Kraken's percent on the deserve to win-o-meter?
The Kraken deserved to
Yeah.
win-o-meter tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, tonight.
Like 67%.
96.
What? That's
The
really
expected
surprising.
Yeah, the expected goal total per Money Puck, 7.45 for the Kraken, 2.3 for the Panthers.
That's that's incredible. Um, I'm gonna I don't know though, because like the Panthers had some like really good point, like the two Sam Reinhart shots alone should have been like a lot on that one power play. Like I don't know, I feel like the Panthers had some really really good looks. I feel like that's taken away something from Martin Jones.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit. But that Kraken number is what stood out to me.
Well, yeah, anytime you see 7 expected goals, that's incredible. That is wild. Um, got Joshua here. RJ not showing up for the tough losses and only for the wins seems pretty bandwagony to me.
Ooh, that's some rough stuff, man.
Did
If
throw
if
in,
you could have seen me on camera after the other night, I think you would have understood.
yep, did throw in. Welcome back. Glad you're feeling better. Um,
Appreciate it, Joshua.
let's see. Um, some more love for Maddie. Some more love for you. The Gordie Howe energy was percolating though for sure from Brian there. I know that would have been a fun thing to come in here and talked about.
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
all right, Alex in here. Let's go. Coming to you live from Sunrise. Must have been a really fun game to be at, Alex. As a Kraken fan, I should say.
Oh
But
yeah.
definitely a fun one. Let's see. Uh, I noticed this is from Lindsay. I noticed Maddie playing more aggressive and a little more fire to his game these past few games, but it was especially evident tonight. Like I said, I really just think that he's tired of losing. He doesn't like losing. That's the bottom line. Is he just doesn't like losing. He wants to do everything in his power to make sure this team's winning.
Yeah, for sure. And this game too, I think was especially coming off a losing streak like this. Yeah, it's easy to get engaged in that game, and when it starts working for you too, I think anyone who's kind of played any sport at any level knows like when something goes well for you early in a game, you're like, I'm feeling it this game. It's easy to stay engaged and just try and build off that.
Oh, for sure. Joey, we needed this win with Lightning and Hurricanes coming up. Daniel, a little bit above, pointing out we've never beaten the Lightning. So, hey, what better time than now? Like, I think this team is rolling. I think we've got as good a chance as any to beat the Lightning. Lightning are not the same team as they've been the last couple years. And this Kraken team is certainly not the same team as they were last year when they played the Lightning.
Yeah, and we've got the ECH live commentary for the Lightning
Mhm.
game too, which has been a pretty good luck charm the last couple months. So I think you
So
take all
far.
that combined.
Yep. So don't forget to join us, everybody. If you're you want to check it out, the link to the Patreon should be below if you're watching this on YouTube. And then all tier of the deep tier level patrons get to join us for live game commentary where we all talk and hang out throughout the game. It's always a blast. We always have so much fun. Really looking forward to this one against the Lightning. Should be a good one. Uh, Let's see, John. I had to convince my fiance that we needed to set up the good luck flag outside our house today. It paid off. Let's go, John. Let's go.
Nice. There you
Definitely,
go.
definitely paid off. Now you know what you got to do moving forward too. Like
Yep.
you're committed now. Let's see. This is from Knucklehead. Pumped with the W. Shame Seattle doesn't seem to love playing in Seattle though. I, I will never understand this, RJ.
I know the home record certainly leaves something to be desired. I hopefully that's something they remedy later on. I know, like I can tell you, I talked to the players. They appreciate the energy in the building,
Mhm.
the crowd, everything. It's not that I just I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't entirely understand it either. What was your opinion on the Alexiak suspension? I think we just talked about that, I'm sure,
Yeah.
based on where we are in chat. That's good. Um, let's see. Lindsay, per Allison Lucan, Morgan Geeky joined the media scrum to ask Maddie a question post game. I love geeky. Joshua asking, what did he ask? That's what I want to know. Lindsay says she
Okay.
didn't say, but I will be anxiously awaiting to watch that video.
Okay, this is the same sentiment I have that was just brought up about the home record. Why can't this stuff happen at home when I'm there? Why does it have to happen on the road trip? Oh, that sounds so great. I'm telling you, I would have got that information to you guys right away. I would have been on that immediately.
Yep.
But I'm going to be watching the YouTube channel for when that video comes out. I'm going to clip it. And Morgan Geeky, okay, he definitely deserves to be a stud of the game now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did you notice when you asked me to guess the money puck thing? I said 67. It was a calculated guess, but it was also, I was trying to do something there. Jay, Dylan, are you wearing an official Adam Larson Deep V? I am. RJ was very gracious and picked this up for me at the Kraken equipment sale at the end of last season. This is an official Adam Larson Deep V. Hopefully I'm doing it justice.
Yeah, worn by Adam Larson himself. I saw that at the store at the equipment sale at the end of the year. I'm like, Dylan needs to have this. I can't believe it lasted as long as it did. I think people thought it was like broken or something because like, oh, the sleeves are cut off. It's ripped. Oh, we don't want this. Nobody like figured that out.
Yeah, no, definitely. Always appreciate it as I put it on for these post games. Joey, face-offs are not our thing. They are not, but I'm telling you, there's something about it. It gets the guys playing at that extra little bit of spice, that energy of like, oh no, we lost the face-off. We gotta really try to clear the zone or get something going here. Get the forecheck going harder. It's just my thing. The data speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I'll do a CHAC presentation next year on it.
Lose face-offs.
Lose face-offs. This is the key. You want your players to play harder? That's the way. Rebecca, may I nominate a stud? Paul Maurice with the stern talk to his team, giving Dylan a break this week. Yes, definitely. That was good. I always love when the cameras pick that stuff up. Stuff like that. And yeah, he was not jealous of the Florida Panthers in that moment right there from Paul Maurice. Have you ever seen Paul Maurice smile? Just like throwing that out there.
I must have seen him smile. I've seen him smile after. I think I remember last season seeing him smile after a game.
He's one of those guys that kind of does just like the.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got a great on curve.
Yeah, it's just funny. I can think of a happy smiling face for every other NHL coach, I think. Lindsay, Kraken could have put up 8 or 9 goals if Bobrovsky didn't have such a good game. Absolutely robbing my boy Billy Borgs plus several other clutch saves. It was like I was really feeling as we were going into the third period that we were watching low key. We were totally watching a big battle of the goalies tonight, and those are just always fun games.
Yeah, they are. And I mean, you look at the Kraken's expected goals figure, via Money Puck, and that seems to back up the Bobrovsky thing that he actually saved a couple goals above expected. And we can think of those chances too. The one on Ryan Donato is the one that really made me get out of my seat and say, wow. And Donato deserved a goal too at that point and just got robbed. But yeah, credit to Bobrovsky on the second half of back-to-backs. That's tough.
Yeah, that 871 save percentage tonight does not tell the whole story of this game for Sergei Bobrovsky. Otherwise, I mean, this Panthers team, RJ, just because we haven't, we talked about them a little bit after the previous game that we played against them. This will be our last chance to talk to them unless we face them in like the final or something. We talked about it last time. Eric Stahl, the ageless wonder, kind of. He's trying to pick up that moniker. Gets his first goal of the season tonight.
Did you see the celebration, how pumped up he was about that goal? Again, if somebody had to score on the Kraken there, I'm glad that it was him. I mean, that goal clearly meant a lot to him and how hard he's worked to be in the league still at this point. Good for Eric Stahl.
Yeah, no, for sure. And he's still a good player. He was the guy out there trying to take that face off when they were down 5v3 against the Kraken. Like he's still a good player. He's getting it done. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Hunter with that 7.45 expected goals tonight per Money Puck. That is absolutely incredible. From them. Coop pointing out Vince Dunn played 29 minutes tonight. That is a lot. I think a lot of that comes in from Schultz getting hurt and then him having to cover on that power play and through all that sequence of events. My guess is Vince Dunn played most of that 5 minutes for that major, if I had to guess.
Yeah, that would make sense. And Larson up here at 2501 listed, it looks like. Yeah, that's a lot for that D pair, but I thought they've had a good last couple games.
Yeah, they have been. Vince Dunn's definitely been playing better. That's pretty standard for Larson, and then Vince Dunn's usually around 24, so it's kind of like he picked up about 5 extra minutes. And then Carson Soucy, the next most at 18, and I think again that's where the power play numbers come in. And yes, I'm now
Yep.
looking at the power play time on ice, 7:10 for Vince Dunn tonight. That's
Of power play ice
a
time.
power play ice time.
Ooh.
That's like a fourth line forward. He had a Shane Wright's worth of game on the power play. Go ahead, take a sec. It's all right.
Oh, you can't make me laugh that hard, Dylan.
It's all right.
Joey,
Joey, I know. Joey also pointing out we are 2-0 all time in Florida. That is right. We are Lords of the Swamp. Kraken, not just a terror of the sea, RJ, but a terror of the swamp.
apparently.
So I don't know that we wanted that all, but
I was gonna say, yeah, do they want that? Yeah.
we've got it. 4-game road trip. They need 5 points from Burton Krem there, but I don't know. Like I said, looking at the standings, you have those games in hand on everybody. The Kraken, they're doing just fine when it comes to things. You're still, one of the only really two teams in this division that have a good goal differential as far as it being positive and double digits at that. I don't know. I think this Kraken team is doing just fine. I don't feel the need to really be worrying about the standings right now.
No, I mean, I think you just basically need to keep your head above water on this trip, because if you look at it based on at least last season's, last season's standings points, the Kraken, this was the first game of their toughest 10-game stretch all season. And so if you can this is the really tough part. If you can just keep around 500 or so, even a little under 500 along this stretch, you should be okay as things lighten up as we get to January.
Yeah, I agree. Sergeant Pickles coming in here with a super chat. Thank you so much, Sergeant Pickles. Petty on me, but I hope Lomberg gets his fade run right off the puck drop next season. We'll be having several #beers for Beniers to calm down. Cheers. Cheers, Sergeant Pickles. I've got my Gatorade. I'll take a quick swig there with you.
Yeah.
Um,
Your water here. I'll toast the inhaler.
There we go. That's the way to do it.
Cheers.
Good stuff. Yeah, some more talk about the Lightning and how that's all going. Looking at them, they're third in their division, 35 points in 27 games, 95 goals, 82 against. So they played the same amount of games as the Kraken. Scored one less goal than the Kraken, but they've allowed a couple fewer. So they're right in there with where the Kraken are this year. That's why I feel pretty good going into this game in Tampa Bay, because I feel like these teams are evenly matched.
Yeah, as far as what they've done so far this season, that's what the numbers show. They are fairly evenly matched. And I think when the Kraken are playing at the top of their game, when they're playing like they did tonight, there are very few teams that can beat them.
Yeah, exactly. And Derek's pointing out, we finally beat Vegas, so maybe we can beat Tampa.
And Edzo was on the broadcast was talking about how tonight's effort really reminded him of the Vegas game. And I do agree with that. Just a complete team effort, not giving up much defensively at all, and just pouring on the pressure. Like they'd almost kind of solved how to create offense against Vegas and then against the Panthers tonight. So if you can bring one of those types of efforts against the Lightning, you should be able to win.
Yeah, and I know I talk all the time about the face-off thing, and I try to make a big deal out of whatever nonsense that is. But one of the things that we've also talked about through some of these post games has been the shots on goal differential for the Kraken. And most of the time in these Kraken games, it's within 2 shots. And then generally, if there is a larger shots on goal differential, it's never in favor of the Kraken. But tonight, 32-25 in favor of the Kraken. I think that really is the thing that speaks volumes about what they were trying to do tonight and what their game plan was and just the overall mindset of the team. And definitely hope we can carry that forward and use this game to pick up momentum moving into the next one, which based on the previous win streaks that we've seen this team put together, this feels like a team that does want to try to make things, momentum plays rather than feeling kind of satiated that like, oh, we're not in the loss column again. We're all good now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a team that when they get a win, they want to go out there and get another one. I mean, call it streaky, call it what you want, but I mean, you look at those two long extended win streaks. That's what this team's all about.
Yeah, exactly. I see your message there, Daniel, about Patreon and the Discord thing. I will definitely take care of that when we're done with post game for you. Lindsay, the home record is still pretty good when I'm there. Pretty sure the solution is me attending more games. That's right. We just got to figure out ways of hooking Lindsay up with tickets to get him in games there. Valentina, I missed the game because of work. I'm stopping by to say hello and share with the dance party. Glad to have you here, Valentina. Sorry, you're working on a Sunday, unless that's
Yeah.
usual for you. Let's see. Joey, I agree. But Lightning are not. Oh yeah, because earlier someone was saying that Lightning are 17 and 9. 100% disagree. And then Joey here, I agree, but Lightning are definitely not as good as last year and not an easy win. But Tampa is beatable. That's all I'm saying. I just think we match up really well right now, and I think it's possible. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jay, I'd like to be there for a win this season, but with only half game tickets, it's maybe not in the stars. I think it'll happen at some point. It's gonna happen. Rebecca, the Larson bobblehead shots on the road trip broadcast are such a nice touch. Those have been incredible. Now, obviously, I might be a little biased, okay? But
Literally wearing the deep V that's on his bobblehead.
I literally, yeah. So this could be the shirt he modeled in. We have no way of knowing, but I like to think it is. But that's one of those things that really like elevates your local television broadcast. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of little touches. It speaks to the fan base. You're promoting going to the game. Like let's just stop for a moment. The fact that Root Sports is saying, don't stay at home watching us. Go show up at this game, right?
Yep.
In today's day and age of, big business and certainly big media business, the fact that they're out there doing that for one is awesome because it just shows how committed they are to really building this thing alongside the Kraken, building out a fan base for the Kraken. I know that does benefit them long term, all that other stuff too, right? It's not like they're just being generous, but that's stuff that you just don't see on other, sports networks. Like you and I know growing up in Los Angeles, RJ, Kings bobblehead night, when you'd know on the TV broadcast, once the night was already happening. It would be like first intermission, and Jim Fox would be like, "Oh yeah, here's the bobblehead that they gave out tonight." It's like, oh well, that would have been nice information to have beforehand. So I love that they're totally pumping this. I love that somebody's actually going out there to the beach to stick the bobblehead on the sand in front of the ocean, get some nice shots of it, and really make a thing of it because it adds to that familiarity we have with the whole broadcasting crew, not just the talent on air, so to speak, but really everyone, and just those little touches. It really feels like they care about the viewer as much as you're caring about watching them. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's a cool bobblehead too. I was fortunate enough to be the one to show Adam Larson what it looked like first. I had a picture of it and he hadn't seen it yet. So I went up to him in the locker room. He was there sitting next to Vince Dunn. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
Like, hey Adam, what do you think of the bobblehead? He's like, wait, there's a bobblehead of me? I'm like, yeah, here, take a look. And I could tell he was like maybe trying to find something wrong with it. Like, because with the bobbleheads, you never know. Like, they could be like, that doesn't even look like me. But no, he just like looks himself like, yeah, I think he kind of had to admit it was like spot on. They got it. So
the thing most people are worried about when it comes to the bobblehead is the likeness of the face.
I know. And he was wearing I know. He was wearing the deep V at the time. He's got a new one, by the way. Sorry, Dylan. That's not the only one. But yeah, so he was wearing the deep V at the time. I suppose he couldn't argue with that. But that was very enjoyable. And of course, I think Vince Dunn liked it as well. Of course, his deep heart. I think he's got to get one of those.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Let's see here.
The hard-hitting reporting you all asked for.
That is definitely Alex with the duds, playing with broken stick. When was the last time, RJ, you saw a game in which each team took a penalty for playing the puck with a broken stick? Because I don't know that I've ever seen
recall one. And you know my encyclopedic hockey memory. I
Yeah.
cannot remember a game where there's been 2 of those.
Yeah, that would be on your great spreadsheet of all the hocky games you've ever been to. Like, that would be one of
it
those
would.
notes you would put in there.
I would
For
have put that
sure.
on the spreadsheet for sure.
Yeah. That was just weird. I don't know what was going on there, Alex. Gary saying Maddie should get the Davy Jones hat tonight. I would not argue with that at all. I think that would be a good one for him. Brian, I'm a Canes fan too. No, Paul Maurice does not smile. So there we go, getting some confirmation there.
Yeah.
Back,
I've seen a couple of these. Sorry, I see
Oh,
from
go
like
for it.
Scott, I've seen a couple of these just saying I get tested for COVID. I did take COVID test. I do not have COVID. Just want to get that out there. So, but yeah, I appreciate sentiment. I know it's still out there. Thankfully, this was not COVID.
Yeah, that's still out there. And then, like I've also been saying, there's another like respiratory viral infection going on that isn't COVID. That's also I've known some people go down with. So it's holiday season. This is the way
Yeah.
it goes. What's going on here? What's
Oh,
this? What's this?
who's that?
What's going on? What's going on, Afra? What are you doing? She's like, I think it's treat time. Let's see here. Beckett, Captain Gord killer tonight, and hitting 250 undrafted.
250 points by an undrafted player.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a cool milestone.
It's a
rare.
fantastic milestone. He just hit 400 games too. Like, that was the other one that we had just passed. And I don't know that I mentioned it that night, but that is a huge deal in the hockey world for NHL players, because 400 games is when you, as a member of the PA, you then qualify for the pension after you retire. So 400 games, especially for an undrafted player, it's not just, and why broadcasts will make a big deal about 400 games when it feels like kind of an odd number to pick. Like, why not 500 or something, right? 400 is a big deal for all the players, because that means you're getting that pension for the rest of your life after you retire from the NHL. So that was also a very, very huge moment for somebody who is an undrafted player to be able to get to that milestone. I'm sure meant a lot to him as well. Ryan, they looked pretty dominant tonight. Nice to get back on the W train. Absolutely loved putting it in the net shortly after that terrible hit on Schultze and the Beniers fight. 100% Ryan. It was a fantastic moment from them. Let's see. I feel very confident in this team to make the playoffs from Ryan there. They play like a playoff team. We've been saying it through most of this year. Certainly all the road record stuff that they've got going on, that is playoff team stuff. So hopefully they keep it up. Joey getting on board the train with me though. Beniers for captain. That deserves some treats for Afra. Getting agreement on Beniers for captain. Let's see here. Who's playing goal on Tuesday? Joey's asking. We're not going to know that until Tuesday, probably. I'm assuming Hextall didn't announce it tonight.
Yep. No, he did. I'm sure he did not. You guys super chat here?
Yes. Let's go down here. A bully stick for Dogskoy. I don't have one of those handy. I can try to make that happen later. Thanks for all the love for her, everybody. But I can definitely do some more treats here for you, Jay. Let's see. Go back. Scroll.
I think she's going to try and make sure that we set aside the specific super chats for her as ones that we need to spend that money toward getting the treats for her. We got to make sure that doesn't get mixed.
Yes, for sure. Sergeant Pickles, they should announce Beniers captain the night he wins the Calder. That would be epic. I don't know that they'd do it, but it would be absolutely epic to do that in Vegas. Are they still doing the award show in Vegas? They must.
I would think so. Yeah, they must. Yeah, I don't know though. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Lindsay asking the real questions here. Will the Kraken ever beat the Canucks? Lol, manifesting a W on the 22nd. Definitely got to get that win.
It's the Canucks. Sure. They should be able to do it. Also, the awards, I remember now, they're doing it with the draft, so it'll be in Nashville this year.
Oh, interesting. I know that is something. All right, so like behind the curtain, everybody, from being at a couple drafts, everybody hated all the team personnel hated the whole Vegas thing, because it's like the season ends, you hop on a plane to Vegas, and then you immediately have to that night hop on a plane to wherever the draft is. And all the GMs, all the team personnel, coaching staffs, they all absolutely hated that because they're like, the draft is right now, and then like literally a couple days later free agency starts. Like they all want to be in their war rooms with their teams, working on everything, really trying to prepare as much as possible. Instead, they got to be on all these planes, they got to be dragged over to Vegas. The players love it because they don't have to hop on a plane right away and go to wherever the draft is. They're not needed there. So the players loved it being in Vegas, but all the league and team personnel I ever talked to absolutely hated the whole Vegas award show thing. It was always really, really funny. Only time you'll hear that many people complain about having to be in Vegas, paid vacation to Vegas. What a terrible thing.
Yeah, well, they've got that problem sorted out now, I suppose.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised that they were able to figure something out here. Joey, with that third period in Vegas was our greatest period of hockey in our history. It did feel like it in some ways.
It's certainly got to be in that conversation.
Yeah. Let's see. Was the Florida home game the last time we wore our reverse retros? Then they wear theirs against us today. Edward bringing that up. That is true, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. Both teams who wore them ended up losing.
Oh man, that's something I would love to know league wide. Do the reverse retros? Yeah. What are those records? That would be very, very interesting. Looks like Ty's joining us here. Some killer goals tonight. Maddie gets the feed. Maddie gives the tip to Evs. Berkey snipe mode, Spronger's bomb, and then that hustle tip by Gordo. Elite offensive strikes tonight. No luck. Totally agree with you, Ty. This was the night the Kraken earned it all the way. We talked about the shot differential. We talked about the insane expected goals numbers. This was a night the Kraken definitely earned. It was a really, really nice win for them. David, it'll be nice to have Shane Wright come back after the upcoming tough schedule, build the confidence. It just jumped on me against weaker teams. Yeah, and obviously I wish Shane Wright luck. That's the right way of saying it. At the World Juniors, they did go ahead and send him off. So looking forward to seeing him playing in those. And Becca contributing a super chat to the cough drops funds.
Thank you,
I
Becca.
got you, RJ. It's time for my winter, bronchitis. So I've been dealing with this already for a couple weeks.
Here we go. Got a few cough drops on the stream. Thank you, Becca. Appreciate it, and thanks everyone for bearing with me as I go through this. So hopefully it hasn't been too bad. But I'm just so happy to be back together with you all. This has brought a lot of joy into my day, even just anticipating it all day.
Yep.
And thank you, Jay, for adding more to the cough drop fund. Appreciate it. There's been a lot to go through.
Definitely. So good. Let's see, Jay, if you want a Larson bobblehead, give the stream a like. You won't get one or anything, but it's pretty cool to like your content creators. Appreciate it, Jay. Like I'm okay with the kind of suspect marketing there. I'll allow it.
There we go. All right, it's allowed.
Andrew predicting Gord with a shorty in Tampa. Just saying, that would be fantastic. I'd love to get Yanni Gord, on top of all these other milestones we've been talking about for him, get him a revenge game win in Tampa. That would be a really, really cool thing to kind of reward Yanni Gord with after the season he's been having.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that would be kind of so on brand for him, especially a shorty, in Tampa. That would be a very Yanni Gord thing to do. And I've seen so much on Twitter from Lightning fans who just want him back,
I know,
but they can't have him back. So
yes. And then also super chat here from Kitty B Kraken. Congrats on the 6,000 Twitter followers. Super chat from Kitty B Kraken to keep the shirt giveaway fair. That is right. Everybody go check us out on Twitter at Emerald City HKY. We did hit 6,000 followers, so thank you all of you who helped us get there. But we're going to be giving away, I believe it is 3 shirts, RJ.
Yes,
Maddie
3
shirts.
Yep.
So
3 Maddie for Calder shirts are given away. So make sure, and you just have to follow us on Twitter and retweet that tweet. So make sure to do that by Tuesday the 13th at noon, and we will pick a winner, 3 winners then, and the winners will get their Maddie for Calder shirts. And if you don't want to wait that long, if you just need your Maddie for Calder shirt now, you don't want to leave it to chance,
Yeah.
don't want to have to do a $20 super chat to keep it fair, then you can get them at the link should be in the description, right, on YouTube.
Yep. Yep.
Cool. Link to our stores in the description below, so you can check them out there as well.
Yep, and then Sergeant Pickles also contributing here to the Cough Drop Fund with the super chat. Go ahead and splurge on the Ricola, RJ.
Appreciate it.
Go with the name brand, RJ. Let's go.
More of a Ludens man myself, but I appreciate the sentiment.
I was gonna say, I think these are just the halls. Either way, what's your flavor though? Because I'm the honey.
I like the cherry, that red cherry.
Oh, no,
I know.
Boo this man! Boo this man! It's that lemon honey.
Bring it on.
Artificial cherry. I just can't do it. Even in candy, I can't do it.
It's hard to execute on, but they do it okay.
All right. I'll take your word for it. I'm not gonna find out. Lindsay Afro wants to know how many post games she has to sit through until she gets her pension. It's a good question. That's a good question.
Oh, that's great.
A few more. A few more. Ty, I'm feeling Maddie to the All-Star game a bit early, lol. I was actually thinking about this earlier because I was thinking about I saw Trevor Zegras doing something on Instagram, and I thought like, oh, I wonder what he's gonna do at the All-Star game this year in the skill shootout. And then I was thinking, who is going to be the all-star representative for the Seattle Kraken this year? Like, there's lots of good options, but I feel like for the Calder campaign, it's got to be Matty Beniers. Like, when it comes time to vote, everybody, we're going to have to try to vote Matty Beniers in there because that could be that moment where he gets that national attention, national recognition. Everybody can kind of fall in love with him the way we all have.
Yeah, absolutely. A way to like really announce himself on the league stage. That'll be great for him.
Yes. Sergeant Pickles with the the epic super chat here. Forgot RJ went to SC and Ricola isn't fancy enough.
Oh man, let me have it. Let me tell you, Sergeant Pickles, Dylan loved reading that one.
Yes, I did. Very, very much so. You have no idea. Made my night. That's also why you probably like the cherry flavor, just because it's red.
Yep, I'm sure that's it.
Get out of here.
So Dylan, I have some breaking news.
Okay, yes.
Found out, and I'm kind of disappointed the Kraken official Twitter beat me to this because I saw they posted the interview video. We know what the question from Geeky was to Beniers in the scrum, and it was pretty good.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So he asked him, how do you feel about the Mario Kart tournament coming up?
What?
And Beniers' answer was, I'm the best. Geeks is not as good as me.
Okay, well, solid answer there, especially when you're not expecting something like that. But like, is this just going to be within the team? Like, oh my gosh, like RJ, you gotta get better. You gotta get in there. I have so many questions.
I know.
Now. What drivers do they use? That's the most important one.
They need to come home from this road trip so that I can ask all these hard-hitting questions. Yeah, no, we need to know. So don't worry. I will do my best on this once I get a chance. But man, yeah, Mario Kart tournament. That is some big news.
That would be pretty epic. And you know what? Just based on what we've all heard, I would believe that Maddie's the best. So I would say he's probably the early betting favorite. Do you have a go-to Mario character for stuff like that, RJ?
You're gonna call me out for being boring. It's usually Mario or Baby Mario. Actually, Baby Mario.
All right, well, I'll give it to you because you at least went Baby Mario.
All right, there you go.
I'm a Daisy main. Any Mario game, it's Daisy for me all day long. Always Daisy. Daryl, hope you feel better, RJ. It's been a rough flu for me the last 2 weeks. This was a really great win tonight. Thanks for the well wishes there, Daryl, and hope you're feeling better too.
Yeah,
that is definitely not fun. Let's see. Yes, thank you for dropping that in there, Lindsay, the geeky thing. RJ and Martin Jones picking cherries tonight from Rebecca.
That's great. Yeah, no, that was an interesting call too from Forza. It's like he had that loaded up too, because it was like right as the one-timer came in, Martin picking cherries, Martin Jones. Yeah. That call, it made me do a double take. So yeah, I guess both of us picking cherries tonight.
Yep. Derek, Benir's first star, Burakovsky second star, Gord third star. This is a good 3 stars to me. I think that sounds all right. I'd like to see maybe Martin Jones in there, but
Mhm.
I'll allow it. Sergeant Pickles, Benir's the All-Star game would be like Julio in the Derby. I really feel like it could be. Now, I don't know kind of, if Maddie has maybe some of the showmanship qualities that a Trevor Zegras or a Jack Hughes has, but just all the communications and interviews and all that stuff that they do with the national media at the All-Star game, I just know that he would kind of blow everybody away, and his commitment to hockey and everything, I think would make a good impression on a lot of voters, a lot of awards voters at the end of the season. So I just think it would be really, really good for him, and I just want to see him there. Like, let's go.
Yeah, no, and you don't think he would have some incentive to want to maybe on the theatric side show up as Buddy Zegras just a little bit?
He might. I mean, like, he would. Like, I would be all for it, but it's tough. Like, you got to
It is.
really
It is.
bring game to do that.
No, I don't think anyone's capable of it, but I think Maddie would give it a good try.
Yeah. Daniel, I swear to the gods of the NHL confuses me. I'm collecting a hat from each team, and my Arizona one shipped, but not my Boston one yet. it's it's all a mystery. The NHL at the top level is nothing but mystery. Let me tell you.
Yep. Yep.
Lots of excitement for the team tournament here. Lindsay, Yoshi all the way. My sister would agree with you there, Lindsay.
Yeah.
RJ needs to get that Mario Kart tourney exclusive. You do, RJ. You absolutely have to.
Yep.
Rose Gold Peach on the Master Cycle for the win from Sarah. Very nice. Sergeant Pickles, I'm old enough. The last Mario Kart I played frequently was Double Dash, Luigi/Baby Luigi all the way. Very good. And Daniel, Yoshi, or Link for me. Oh, I love it. What a way to kind of come up on the hour here, RJ, talking about
Yep.
Mario Kart with everybody. So exciting.
Love it.
At the very least, you got to know everybody's mains, RJ, when you talk to them about it when they come back.
For sure. No, definitely got to ask. I'm realizing these players, they probably have played some. Double Dash was the last that I really played, at all. So they're all probably going to be a newer version there than what I'm used to. Yeah, but I'll see if I can hang as far as what changes have been made.
I was gonna say, esports club in college and nannying for neighbor kids have kept me a little more current on those kinds of things. But yeah, it's still been a hot minute for me for sure. And then we'll go ahead and kind of close things out here with Light's comments at the very end. Wasn't able to watch the game due to work, but it seems like this year the Kraken are good at correcting deficiency following rough losses. See overtime after Jets loss and PK after the Florida loss. I totally agree with that, and that's been one of those things that during those maybe more sketchy moments earlier on in the season, why I still felt very strongly that Hackstall was doing a good job and was standing in there, because we were seeing those in-game adjustments, we were seeing those adjustments game to game, and it's just one of those things that you need to win in the NHL. You always got to be making changes. You do have to evolve over the course of a season. And I feel like this coaching staff has done a really, really good job at it at various times. Also, whether it's not, it's a discipline issue, right? Take a couple too many penalties, a couple games in a row. The next couple only taken, you only got 2 PIMs for the night as a team. So I will continue to always kind of, fly that flag for Dave Hackstall that the coaching staff has done a fantastic job with that this year. You're on mute.
Thank you. It's a reason to be optimistic going forward for this team, that they can kind of correct things that are going wrong.
Exactly. So with that, everybody, that's going to do it for this stream. This Emerald City Hockey stream presented by Queen Anne Beer Hall. And actually, RJ, should we make a quick announcement about Queen Anne Beer Hall before we leave for the?
Did you happen to load up the graphics?
I did load up the graphics here.
Yes. All right.
Real quick, I'm going to hit this.
Okay. Super chat first.
Thanks for everything, you guys. Don't forget to like the stream. I saw Brian in there. Good night, Brian. With the the stream stuff. But I have some graphics here. Let me see if I get this.
Thanks for the super chat, Jay, by the way, and for all the support. I mean, how many times you were in chat here telling people to like the stream? If they didn't like the stream, it was their own fault. Yeah.
All right. So here's the first. Here's the graphic. Here we go.
All right.
So yeah, you go for it.
No, you go for it. I realize my voice, I don't have enough to carry this. Go ahead.
All right, so we will be hosting our first live event at Queen Anne Beer Hall on Saturday, January 14th. 2023 is what it should read,
Oh no.
RJ.
Yes.
It
Okay.
is
Well, I'll
technically
change that
next year.
graphic. I think the other one says 2022 also. Okay, good way
Yes.
to catch that.
Where we will be doing a live watch party followed by a live post game from Queen Anne Beer Hall while we'll be taking in that Kraken in Chicago game. I'm so looking forward to that. I have never been to Queen Anne Beer Hall in person. I have stand outside and seen that awesome mural that you're all looking at there on the graphic, but I have not been inside the building. I'm very much looking forward to getting inside that building, seeing what all that they have to offer. But we wanted to get this out as soon as possible, give everybody enough time to maybe plan on trying to make some plans to come and join us for this one. But I am super excited to get up there and be a part of this one. And then that's not all, because it is still tough to sometimes get there for some of these things. We're going to be following that one up with just a couple days later, Monday,
Yep.
January 16th. Speaking of the Lightning, the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to be in town at CPA. Again, ignore the year, it's fine. But we're going to be at Queen Anne Beer Hall for that one as well. So really looking forward to both of these events. Really looking forward to being able to say hi to everybody in person. That's the other thing that I miss being stuck down here, is I just don't get to see people kind of frequently as events are going on around the team. So looking forward to finally getting in there, seeing the sponsors building, and just getting to hang out with everybody and watch some hockey.
Yeah, it's going to be a great event. I mean, the guys at Queen Anne Beer Hall are super excited for this. It's going to be a whole watch party type event thing. We're going to have like some fun games like intermission trivia, various things like that. We're still planning all the cool things we're going to add for the event. And then for this second one here on Monday, that is a Kraken home game. It's a 1
Yeah.
p.m. start. I believe that's Martin Luther King Luther King Jr. Day. So that weekend. So that's why that 1 p.m. start, everyone should be off of work. So Dylan and I, of course, will be going to the game because we are media and that's what we do. And so you can watch the game at Queen Anne Beer Hall. But then as soon as we finish doing the media and everything like that, we are going to run over to Queen Anne Beer Hall from the arena, and we're going to do a live post-game live from Queen Anne Beer Hall. It's going to be like the post-game live you all know and love, but it's going to be in person at Queen Anne Beer Hall. You can meet us, you can ask us questions in person, and we're going to do a post-game live, basically on location. So I'm really excited to do that, test out that concept, and I think it's going to be a great time for everyone.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And yes, I do want to see that Lightning game. That will be potentially my only chance to get into a game at CPA. So certainly the only time planned. So definitely want to be there for that. But yeah, I mean, just real quick reminders. Saturday, January 14th, 2023, 5 p.m. start. Kraken in Chicago. That will be a watch party and live post game. And then the following Monday, the 16th, 1 p.m. That'll be a live post game whenever that game against Lightning ends. But I would recommend, if you're going to try to be there for the post game, go ahead, get there, watch the game live at Queen Anne Beer Hall,
Yep.
watch the whole thing. That's the way I'd do it. So thanks to them. Thanks for all the fun messages here in chat about it too. I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody for this one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, I think. Definitely.
For sure.
All right. So with that awesome announcement, we're going to go ahead and call it now officially for this episode of ECH Post Game Live presented by Queen Anne Beer Hall. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. Thanks for all the super chats, everybody. And we will see you all after that Tampa game on Tuesday. Should be good. Looking forward to it. Catch you all next time, everybody.